Welcome to The Reset, where you will learn what a detox is, why it's important, and why spring is a great time to begin. Please welcome your hosts, Dr. Sarah D. Alemi and Dianna Baltimore.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome back for those of you who joined us last night, and a warm welcome to everyone whose first time this is. Dianna, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself first?
Hi, yes, absolutely, Sarah. So I'm Dianna Baltimore. I'm an integrated nutrition coach, and I'm also a personal trainer, as well as being an executive area manager for Arbonne International. And I'm so excited to be here tonight with you, Dr. Sarah.
Thank you, Dianna. I'm glad you can join us for this 3-day series with me. For those who don't know, I'm Dr. Sarah. I'm owner and practitioner at Eastern Roots Wellness, an acupuncture and traditional Chinese medicine clinic in Northern Virginia. And this is night 2 of our 3-day video series, The Reset Detox this Spring. I am super excited about tonight. For those of you who didn't join us, last night was spent talking about some pretty serious statistics, right, Dianna?
Yes, absolutely. We gave everybody a big chunk of, what goes on in the world of our bodies.
Yeah, so to kind of summarize for those of you who weren't with us, last night we said that there is around 77,000 man-made chemicals at any given time in the environment around us. They're constantly bombarding our system. And because of this, it has a negative effect on our health. Sometimes it's short term, right? You can get like skin rashes, that sort of thing. But it's really the long-term or cumulative effect of these toxins on our body that does serious damage. And the thing is, guys, even though we talked a lot about the different sources of toxins last night, we barely touched, I think, all the toxins that are out there. For example, I was just telling Dianna before the live video started, when we were talking about toxic home syndrome last night, I really just flew through that one, right? Because we had so many sources of toxins to talk about. We didn't talk about mold. We didn't talk about the laundry detergent that you guys use. I know probably for skincare products and toiletries, there's probably a lot more chemicals we could have brought up too, and the effects that has on our health. And basically how when we have so many toxins sitting in our body, even though our body is meant to detoxify and eliminate, it can't do it on its own. But that's kind of why I'm really excited for tonight, because the good news is that there is something we can do about it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's, we're going to talk tonight about how do we support our body's detoxification. And so we're going to stop introducing new toxins into the body. We're going to talk about elimination of certain foods. We're going to talk about how to support your body in eliminating the toxins already present that have built up over time. And that's going to be through acupuncture, body work, self and professional massage, dry skin brushing, sweating and movement. One of my favorite topics, exercise, sauna sessions, and hydration. So there's a lot of really great nuggets that you're going to get here tonight. And so hopefully at the end of this, you'll walk out with a few new things that you can start implementing in your daily activity right away.
Absolutely. So I think let's go ahead and get started, because again, I think we kind of bummed some people out yesterday who caught us last night about all the toxins. So let's go ahead and start with the first thing that we can do, which is stop bringing in new toxins.
Yes, look at that. A stack of donuts. Who doesn't love a donut, right? So we're going to go ahead, and even though those look delicious, for a while, we're going to kind of like put a pause on that, right? And how we're going to do that is we're going to eliminate certain food groups in our diet. That's the best way to sort of let your body hit that reset. Like last night, we talked about the car, taking it in for that tune-up. So we're going to eliminate dairy, right? Because dairy, accumulation of mucus for a lot of people, which it causes some problems, digestive problems. We're going to eliminate soy. We talked last night about the genetically modified, crops that are grown here in this country, and soy is one of them. We're going to eliminate refined sugar. Once again, genetically modified. We're going to eliminate acidic things like alcohol, not forever, but just for 30 days. Coffee, not because coffee has caffeine in it per se, but because it's very acidic, and we're going to bring that body back into a more alkaline state. So we're going to eliminate those things. We're going to eliminate processed foods. I mean, if you joined us last night, you heard about the chemicals that are in processed foods. That should kind of entice you to eliminate those regardless of what you do. But processed foods, anything that's not grass-fed or free range, we're going to eliminate those things. So those are the big things that we're going to eliminate in our diet for a certain period of time so that we can clean it out. So once again, just quickly, refined sugar, processed foods, soy, dairy, alcohol, coffee, and gluten. Oh, how could I forget gluten? Sorry. Gluten, big issue. Once again, as we talked last night, the crops, genetically modified, leaky gut, gluten intolerance, all sorts of issues, autoimmune, all because we can't actually really process that food. Our bodies have not evolved enough to process what we're trying to put in our bodies.
Yeah, and what's so interesting, Dianna, is that this is something that I think Western medicine is kind of finally sort of trying or starting to understand, that some of these foods are not good for ourselves. But for thousands of years, Chinese medicine has actually said no to these same food groups. I mean, because they say in Chinese medicine, we say there's a term called damp heat. When you eat foods like dairy, sugar, processed food, it kind of gunks up the system. And when you think of something that's gunked up, it's stagnant, right? And so when something's stagnant, you kind of get this friction and it starts to create heat. So again, that kind of damp heat in the body, that doesn't sound like a good thing, and it's not a good thing, because then you start to get those signs and symptoms like we talked about. Like you start with the mucus, the allergies, the bloating, but then that turns into more serious and chronic issues long-term down the road. So first things we just talked about is what you can eliminate. So this is going to help you this is going to prevent you from bringing more toxins in. So what do you do with the toxins that you already have in your body? Well, you got to get rid of them. So how do you get rid of them? Well, one of the ways you can do that is you can bring in or incorporate herbs. Herbs are used in both Western medicine and Chinese medicine. I'm going to talk about some that are commonly used in traditional Chinese medicine for detoxing the body, and they can detox the body either through supporting one of the detox organs, which we talked about last night, so like the liver or the kidneys or the large intestine, but they can also detox by helping, motility, helping our bowels move and that sort of thing, because toxins, they got to go somewhere, right? So one of the most common that I think many people probably have heard of is called milk thistle. This is one of the most commonly used herbs for supporting liver function, and like I said, in both Chinese and Western medicine. It has an active component. Please forgive me if I pronounce this wrong. Silymarin, which has been clinically proven to stabilize cellular membrane and stimulate detoxification pathways. It also has a lot of anti-inflammatory effects, and some studies even suggest that it can help with liver regenerative issues. So again, milk thistle, that's one of the big ones that you're going to notice. I want to say that it's in the Arbonne Detox tea. Do you know if it is, Dianna?
Several of these herbs are in our detox tea, which is, very strategically put there for that reason.
Absolutely. And so, and what's great is, I guess what I should say is that Chinese medicine, let me back up. Chinese medicine usually use a combination of herbs, so an herbal formula, to really have a specific effect. Just like kind of the Arbonne Detox tea has a combination of herbs to really get you that full effect. However, because I really want you talking to someone before you decide to diagnose yourself and give yourself formulas, that's kind of why we're starting with the singular herbs, right? You can kind of take them as an herbal tea. You can take them as a supplement, but even better, like dandelion greens, cilantro, those sorts of things. You actually throw those in your salad every day. Stinging nettle, that's one that can really easily be used as a tea as well. But going on, so we don't dilly-dally too long, another one that's really good for elimination is red clover. This one's a little different, which is why I wanted to talk about it. So red clover supports the functioning and health of our skin, which last night Dianna shared is one of our detox organs. And it's also an excellent choice for a gentle detox routine. Next one, dandelion. I think a lot of people have probably heard of dandelion root as well. It gently stimulates the liver and it helps the natural detoxification process. Basically, this is because dandelion has some bitter compounds in it that stimulate the taste buds, which then, sets off this whole chain of reactions again that Dianna spoke about last night with the digestive tract. And so when we start to stimulate the digestive tract, we then get saliva to bile from the gallbladder, and that then goes to the GI, making sure that our stomach is now set in motion. And this also helps with the breakdown of fats during digestion, and then finally the flushing away through our bowels. And fun fact, it actually has higher levels of beta carotene than carrots. Who knew, right? Another one, yeah, I know, right? Another one that I really like is burdock root. I actually take this as a supplement. I started taking this in March because it's really good for detoxing, but it's also really good for the skin if you have skin issues like acne, rosacea. And it's also really good for joints. Again, it supports the channels of elimination in the body. It supports a healthy nutrient assimilation. And again, it's rich with inulin and prebiotic starches. And again, it can support healthy kidneys, glowing skin, and joint health. We also have stinging nettle. Stinging nettle is something I've been recommending to my patients a lot recently, not just because of the detoxification nature, but stinging nettle actually helps with allergies. Again, it's interesting how, allergies can be a form of toxic buildup in the body. So the two kind of go hand in hand. Finally, I have turmeric and ginger. I think these are pretty well known. I think people kind of know them as being really good for pain, like aches and pains, anti-inflammatory. But they're also really good for like digestive problems and liver disorders too, because they have this component that allows the breakdown of harmful compounds, just like the liver is supposed to do. So it kind of really supplements the liver and the breakdown of harmful substances. Again, just a reminder too, yesterday, I think at the end, we kind of talked about why Chinese medicine views the spring as a good time to detox. And we said one of those reasons is because it has to do with the element of wood, which has to do with the liver and the gallbladder, our detox organs. But also green and the sour taste are associated with the wood element, the spring. And again, if you look at these herbs, most of them are green, right? They're, I don't want to say that some of them are, what do we call it? When we try to spray away something. Weeds, yeah. So in the West, we might look at them as weeds, but these are really great medicinal plants. And the fact that they're all green, it kind of gives us an idea, okay, green and bitter really corresponds to the liver, which is our detox organ. Of course, again, like I said earlier, you can throw these in your salads. You can have them as an herbal tea. That's a really easy way to help your body function better, but also eliminate all those toxins. So another thing we can do from Chinese medicine is something known as acupuncture. So acupuncture is part of traditional Chinese medicine, which is a holistic medicine that looks at the whole person, not just a specific part of them, to treat the root cause of disease. So again, its goal is to treat the root, not just to kind of be like a pharmaceutical drug and, be like a Band-Aid that's simply going to suppress the symptom. So how can acupuncture help us to detoxing, right? So acupuncture, again, it's holistic. It helps physical, mental, and emotional aspects of a person. So if your whole body is working, regulating back in homeostasis, that's just going to mean it's going to be easier to have better health. In particular, we take these really teeny tiny needles and we put them into particular points on the body. And when we put it on the body, the local nerves in the system are a message to the central nervous system, which starts this whole cascade of physiological processes, which starts the production and release of hormones and chemicals, neurotransmitters, those sorts of things. And it also switches our brain from the fight or flight to the rest and digest, which we know the body needs to be in that state if it needs to detox and eliminate. And so specifically, how can it help us with detoxing? Well, it helps us with the functioning of the detox organs. There are actually points on the body which support the liver, the kidneys, the respiratory system, particularly the lungs, the skin as well. And in addition, the stomach and the large intestine too. And in fact, there are a lot of points that are really good for getting things moving in the stomach and large intestine. I just want to let you know, if you need to get things moving, acupuncture is very quick acting and it's natural. But acupuncture also acts as the natural diuretic, again, because it's all about movement. In fact, let me go back and say, in total, you can say traditional Chinese medicine is about things moving. We say when things are moving, there is no dis-ease. when there is stagnation, when there is obstruction, that is when disease occurs. So we want things to move. We want the circulatory system to move. We want the lymphatic system to move. We want your whole digestive tract from your mouth to your rectum to move as well. And again, that's going to help you eliminate any toxins that you've already accumulated in your body. And just one more point about acupuncture, it helps to augment any adverse side effects you might have when you're detoxing. Sometimes, particularly for those who may be in poorer health or maybe just really have a huge toxic overload or burden in their body, you may get some symptoms like you may be a little tired, you may have a little headache the first couple of days. Well, guess what? Acupuncture can help allay those symptoms for you until your body starts getting used to pumping out things on its own. So that's another way that we can help support detox and eliminations, aside from herbs. Another thing we have, and then feel free to jump in a second, and Dianna, is body work. So a lot of us, when we think of massage, we think, okay, this is something that's reserved for a special occasion. You know, it's something that like a luxury sort of item. Well, guess what? I think massage should be covered by every insurance plan out there because it does so many great things for our body. And now when I mean massage, I don't mean like deep tissue, get in there, grind everything up. When I mean massage, I mean traditional gentle strokes, because in this case, we're not trying to break up, your knots, which you can go and get that done yourself if you want. We're trying to detox the body. So to do that, we really need to stimulate the lymphatic system. So you can get like a Swedish massage, you can get a lymphatic drainage massage if you like. And there's also something known in Ayurvedic medicine. There's a kind of self-massage where basically you kind of just palpate on different parts of your body where we have some of the main lymph nodes. Have you ever had a lymphatic massage, Dianna?
No, I have. And I think what really is coming to my mind right here is that, in a detoxification process, right, it's not just one thing, right? It's really multiple modalities that we use in the process. And oftentimes we don't think of ourselves enough to treat ourselves well, right? But the way to keep everything going and really performing at its optimum level is to be able to use these many different methods in taking care of your body, because this is, like I said last night, it's the only body that you have, right? Mm-hmm. And when you know your body and you treat your body well, like through massage or drainage or acupuncture, you do a detox, you are just really, it's sort of like, in my opinion, it's like life insurance.
Yeah, I completely agree. And like I said, these are ways that really can help you start the detox process and with elimination, but it's also a really good way to keep your body eliminating efficiently as well. It looks like we have a question. Does acupressure work the same as acupuncture? So that's a really good question. So acupressure uses the same theory as acupuncture. It uses the same points, which are known as acupoints or acupuncture points. It's just one is invasive, right? One requires a skilled practitioner with a needle, and the other one you can actually do at home. There's some really good self-guided acupressure books out there. Basically, what you would do is you could take an acupressure tool. You can also take, one finger or two fingers. You would find the acupuncture point. You would put gentle but firm pressure. Do it for about 30 seconds to 1 minute. Release, do it again. And it may not be as quick or swift as a reaction as if you got acupuncture, but it definitely still helps, particularly if it's something that you do consistently. So I always give my patients some tips and tricks when it comes to acupressure points, particularly on the ears, because it's always a great way to help. So that's a great question. But going back to acupuncture again, some other forms of body work that are related to traditional Chinese medicine are cupping and scraping. I'm going to start with cupping, which we've got a little bit of a picture here. And I think it kind of became popular in the US. I forgot what summer it was, Dianne, after Michael Phelps had all those purple bruises.
The Olympics. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So everyone said, what are all those bruises? And it's like, they're not bruises. Those are cupping marks. It's a type of therapy. So cupping it's a natural treatment, right? It's non-invasive. We literally use a cup, as the name says, and it stimulates blood flow and microcirculation in a particular area. So it assists with skin nutrition, and it can actually even improve the skin color. It stimulates lymphatic drainage. It removes toxins from the skin. It's really great for a lot of things. Most people know cupping to be useful for pain relief, right? Because you can have it creates a suction, and when the suction opens, it opens the pores, which allows the blood vessels to move closer towards the surface, allowing for better circulation. When you have better circulation, stagnant blood, toxins, all that kind of stuff is going to get carried out, and then oxygen, new blood with repair cells are going to get carried in. And there's different ways we can do cupping. I think this guy is showing us an example of moving cupping, which feels really good for some people. But of course, in addition to cupping, we also have something known as scraping or gua sha. It literally means gua comes from the Chinese word to scrape, whereas sha means red. So basically, we're trying to scrape. We go with the muscle fibers with the gua sha tool to help release the muscles, but again, to get our vascular system moving, our lymphatic system moving. Yes, it can be used for pain, just like cupping, but again, it's really about getting your lymphatic and circulatory system moving so that any toxins in the area can be flushed from the body. And we'll talk later about the importance of hydration, but I always would say when people get acupuncture or they do cupping and scraping, really make sure you increase, almost even double increase your hydration and water intake those days. All right, so we've got body work. But real quickly, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the lymphatic system, because again, it's so important. I know we kind of ran over it last night as being one of our detox organs, but the lymphatic system, right, head to toe, you've got all these channels, you've got little lymph nodes here and there that connect to different organs of our body, like the spleen. But there's different ways aside from body work that you can get your lymphatic system moving at home. And I wanted to add this because these are some things I actually do, Diana, and I knew that there was a good chance that people would probably laugh at me. But you know what, guys? I actually started a detox program in March, and since then I've lost about 12 pounds. My husband was doing a detox program with me, but he wasn't doing any of this lymphatic movement, and he's lost maybe like 4 pounds. So it's like, I think there's something.
Well,
I know, right?
Opposite.
Exactly. Yeah. Usually men tend to lose weight a little bit easier, but in this case, it's like, I think I'm doing something different, and that's because every morning, I actually get my lymphatic system moving. So before I shower in the morning, I do something called dry skin brushing. So you literally use a brush. You guys, you can Google this. You can look it up on Amazon. It's like a $5 brush. It's like a wood. You got like a wood handle and like some kind of boar bristles. You go basically in an up and out movement, starting from your toes, working up to your chest and out. Once you get to your chest, from your hands all the way down to your chest and then out again. Again, this helps the lymphatic system move. You take a shower. The heat in the shower again helps with circulation. Drink water once you get out, and you're good. You're good to go. So
I love that.
Yeah, and so it's like it takes less than 5 minutes, and it's a really great way to awaken the body. Get the body moving, and then anything you do for the rest of the day is really going to have an even heightened impact, right? Especially when it comes to like losing weight, detoxing, eliminating that sorts of things. This picture right here is what's called a rebounder. I don't know if you've used a rebounder, Diana.
Yep. That's been around for a long time.
It has been. So basically, guys, a rebounder, it is what it looks like. It's a mini trampoline, right? I think I actually saw the other day in Elle magazine, Eva Longoria shared a picture of herself on her rebounder and how she was like kind of getting back in shape from her baby. And I was like, oh my gosh, see, I'm not completely crazy over here. So a rebounder, guys, it's a way to get exercise, but it's another way to get your lymphatic system moving. And finally, there's something called a vibration platform machine. This one's a little out there, but for those of you who really want to shake things up, pun intended, back in the day, I think in gyms, they used to have these vibrating machines with the kind of like a conveyor belt. Yeah, people would kind of like stand in them and jiggle. So it doesn't take the place of exercise, and it doesn't make you lose fat, right? But it helps you in that process because, again, it's getting your lymphatic system moving. So the point is, whatever you choose to do on your detox journey, you really want to make sure your lymphatic system is moving, because over time, just like everything else, it can get sluggish, it can get gunked up. And this is what's going to carry the toxins out in a way. This is also what's going to carry extra fluid away. So if you are with someone who does have edema or who is prone to, just water weight, water retention, this is really going to be important for you. And like I said, it just wakes up the whole body. So your digestion is going to be better. Your elimination is going to be better. I can't recommend doing something for your lymphatic system every morning enough. And again, it takes 5 to 10 minutes tops.
Just going from the bottom up with the brush, with dry brushing.
Exactly. And I think if anyone ever had questions, they would be more than happy to ask the two of us. But honestly, these things are getting more popular as I think everyone's kind of starting to see the importance. And so honestly, YouTube, right? YouTube, like dry skin brushing, I think that would probably be my first recommendation for you guys to start, just because it's the easiest and the cheapest. And I mean, if you go up and out, you really can't mess it up. But after that, we have sweating.
Right. Sweating. Love, love, love the sweat. So why sweat and exercise? Why is that a good thing? Well, when we sweat through our skin, right? We talked about yesterday, everything gets in and into the bloodstream. Well, it also comes out in the form of sweat. And what we release in sweat is small portion of toxins like metals, like Sarah talked yesterday about metals, and BPA plastics are going to be excreted through our sweat. And sweat is also a major way of, regulating the body's temperature. But what is sweat? Well, it's mostly water, right? It's mostly water in small amounts of sodium, potassium, calcium, and magnesium. And those are critical trace elements in our body. So when we are dehydrated, right, we don't have enough water in our body, that's when we get into trouble. We have all sorts of issues. So always having, your water, making sure that you're getting those trace elements in that water as well. So you just want to make sure that you sweat. It doesn't matter what you do. We'll talk about exercise in a little bit, but you need to open up those pores and release. And the sweating allows our body temperature to regulate itself. So sweating is a good thing. We don't want to glow. We want to sweat.
Absolutely. And so like Diana said, tomorrow night 3, we are going to talk a little bit more about exercise, but movement, exercise in particular, is obviously that's one of the easiest, best ways to induce sweating. Yeah. But sometimes there's some other ways you can induce sweating as well. Just real quickly, one of those is the sauna. There's different kinds of sauna. There's steam rooms. I think some of you might have known before. Again, something that you do for maybe 10, 15 minutes. So again, it's just to really get your body to rid itself of toxins, right? There's only so many ways that these toxins are going to come out of your body. So if you're not eliminating through your bowels, then make sure that your skin is eliminating them properly, particularly if you're someone who's maybe like prone to like acne, that sort of stuff. Something in your body isn't allowing the toxins to escape. So that's one of the reasons it's showing up on your skin, right, Diana?
Right, absolutely. It all has to do with the gut. So what is the health of our gut? What is the health of our internal, our inside? Because that's going to be shown on the outside. It happens every time. And if, just to go back to the sweat for a second, when you smell there are certain times, even eating food and things you shouldn't eat, and you may go out and work out in, hours afterwards or even the next day, and your sweat smells different than it does when you're not eating, bad food. So just being aware of like how you're feeling, what's happening, how you're sweating, dependent upon what you're doing with your body. And, our body is, 60 to 75% of our body is made up of water. Mm-hmm. And you can see in front of you, our brain is 75% water, our blood 83, the heart 79. So guys, when we don't hydrate ourselves, and the guideline is half your body weight in ounces per day. So half your body weight in ounces per day in water is what we should be doing, because when we don't hydrate ourselves, that's when we get into trouble with, fatigue. Memory is an issue, blood pressure, chronic diseases, memory. There's a lot of things that happen when we don't hydrate ourselves. I always equate it to like when an elderly person goes in, they've been found, they're lethargic, they can barely move. What is the first thing that they do when they take them to the hospital? They put an IV in them, and 9 times out of 10, they're dehydrated. And they're dehydrated because typically they don't want to go to the bathroom, right? But going to the bathroom is a good thing. It really is. And the more you hydrate yourself, the more your body can self-regulate itself so that you're not always in the bathroom all the time, right? So it's really, really important.
Absolutely. And then I think something else I want to say too is the lymphatic system is actually 95% water. So again, that's another reason why we want to stay hydrated, is because we want to be moving our lymphatic system. And I don't know if we made this point clearly early on, but guys, we want you to basically shake up all the toxins that are in your body when you're doing a detox, and then we want you to rid them. So when we mean elimination, I know this maybe is kind of squeamish for some people to talk about. We actually mean elimination. So you're excreting them through urine, through your bowels, or through your sweat. So everything that we're talking about, from the herbs to the acupuncture, the body work, to the lymph movement, and now the hydration, and the sweating we just said, is so that you can get rid of the toxins, right? I mean, yes, we want you to start being healthy and having a healthy lifestyle, which we'll get in tomorrow, but you've got to get rid of the toxins, guys, right? It's one thing to stop taking in new toxins, but you got to get rid of the ones you already have.
Yeah. And just, it's like paint on a wall. It's like paint on a wall. It builds up over time, and your body can only do so much. So, these are great, simple ways. And a lot of them don't cost you any money at all. It's free. Sweat is free if you're willing to do it.
Exactly, right? And so just some other things we want to say about hydration, and that's going to be, I guess I like to call it hydration etiquette or water etiquette. I think one thing Diana said is definitely the most important thing you can do. Again, drink half your weight in ounces per day. And so this means water, right? Obviously, we want you to have filtered water, but we'll get into some examples and recommendations of filters or filtration systems tomorrow. Don't worry, guys, we will give you those. But so yeah, it includes water. It also includes organic herbal teas. And recognize this does not mean Lipton iced tea. This does not mean the sweet tea that you get through McDonald's drive-through. This is organic herbal tea. All right. And then nutritional smoothies count as well. Some of the healthy fruits, like the berries in particular, some of them are going to have a little bit of water content. Again, obviously, tired and true water, filtered water is your best bet. And what I really like to do is I like to keep, I don't know if you do this, Diana, but I like to keep like a full glass of water on my bedside table. So the first thing I do when I wake up, before I even get out, before I even check my phone, guys, if you can believe this, is I actually count to 20 and I just slowly sip on room temperature water. And it really just helps my body start to warm up. Just like when I get on the rebounder or do the dry skin brushing, it's getting everything slowly moving so that throughout the day, I'm going to be that much healthier. Some people like to put lemon on it. That can actually, jumpstart it a little bit more. But for me, I just keep a glass of water by my bedside. And again, something I said too, sip, don't guzzle, guys. I know, yes, it's water. And so it might sound kind of crazy, but we don't need to be adding more air. We don't need to be doing all kinds of crazy things. We want to help our body as much as possible. So by putting the least pressure on it. And also something I think we're going to talk about tomorrow, but maybe we'll say today, Diana, is I often recommend that people, particularly those who have gut issues or gut problems, to not drink during a meal.
Yes, absolutely. I think we're going to mention that tomorrow. Yeah, that's one of the biggest things. It interferes with your digestive system in the process of breaking down that food. But I think we do talk about that tomorrow, which is fascinating to me. So best water is reverse osmosis. That was a question.
Yeah.
The question is.
Yeah, actually, so we're really going to get into the different kinds of water filtration systems tomorrow night 3, and we are going to talk about reverse osmosis when we get to household products or the house in general, right? Because we want to make sure that we're drinking clean water. So for some people it can be, but it really depends on how your house is set up and what your budget is, and also kind of what your, I guess, what's going on with you medically, if that makes sense. So we're going to give you some different examples of reverse osmosis. We're going to give you a full system, a filtration system. We're going to give you, I guess, a kind of an over-the-counter or on-the-counter system, Berkey, which is something that I think Diana and I both use.
Yes.
A Berkey filtration water system. It's, again, you just fill it up, set it on your counter. But even if you just need something to like put on to actually put on the, I forget what it's called, like the nozzle, right? The tap, that sort of thing. We will talk about that tomorrow, but the hands down, you do want to have some kind of filter when you drink your water, because like we said earlier, there is just so much stuff in it. But I also, guys, and I'll say this again tomorrow, I want you to have a filter on your shower heads, because when you are and I said this last night, a 10-minute shower is equivalent to drinking, like, I forgot, it's like 2 liters of like regular tap water. So if the tap water is contaminated, then that means you're getting that contamination in your shower. And some chemicals actually become more toxic to us in vapor form. And so if you're someone who loves a hot shower, again, that's just going to unfortunately have more of an effect on your body. And like Diana said, the skin absorbs everything rather quickly, right?
Yes, it does. It absolutely does.
So I think with that, that kind of, that's actually the end for tonight. Again, tonight was really just focusing on stopping the intake of new toxins and then really getting rid of the toxins you already have. Because again, when you're toxic overload, your body is so full. So even if you want to put good stuff in, it's like your body's so full it can't even handle the good stuff.
No, really, it's just clogging itself up. Yeah, it really does. And it's like I said, it's layers and layers of paint on the wall. And the symptoms that you feel, you sometimes are either they don't have a clear diagnosis for you, right? Because there's no clear sign or it's not a clear definition, but you know that you just feel poorly. Right. You know, the number one most important thing you can do is to take a look at how you're living your life and your diet, you know, and start there when you're in question about, like, why is it that I'm not feeling great? Why is it that I'm tired all the time? Why is it that I can't remember things? Why is it that, you know, I have, you know, no energy? I don't sleep well. I have inflammation. My joints hurt. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is our bodies are, you know, they will tell you if you listen, and the more you hear things, you will start to listen, because it's not going to happen overnight. This is a journey. It is really a journey. And that's the most exciting part, is that one step forward each and every day that you make is one step closer to you know, what you're truly meant to, how you're truly meant to live your life in the health and wellness arena, as far as I'm concerned. So.
Absolutely. And like Diana said, these things are really going to help your body start to get rid of the toxins you already have. But there's things you want to still incorporate, you know, when you finish your detox, right? When you feel better, make sure that even if it's not every day, every couple of days, you do some of these things. You get your lymphatic system moving. You sweat a couple times a week. Obviously, hydration, that's every day for the rest of your life kind of thing. But it really makes such a huge difference in the health. It's amazing how many patients I have who don't drink enough water. And when I remind them, they feel so much better. So again, I think tonight was about elimination and supporting elimination of toxins from your body. Tomorrow night is even more exciting. I'm going to be even more excited than I was tonight, because we get to talk about how you can eat healthy, how you can actually, you know, you don't have to sacrifice your beauty for your health, right? There are really amazing products out there. There's really great things that you can do to look great, to feel great. There's great things that you can use in your house, and you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, is this affecting my fertility? Is this going to make me gain weight? And so we're going to go all over that tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm really excited about tomorrow too. So, you know, stay tuned, go and, you know, enjoy the rest of your evening and a drink. Everybody come tomorrow with and let us know how much water you drank throughout the day. I would love to know that. And did you move? And so we are going to have a raffle. So tonight we are raffling off a skin scrub, so a botanical facial scrub wash for your face, and it's in the Age Well line. So that is what we are, and it's brand new, so I'm really excited about it. And who's gonna win?
But too bad we can't enter ourselves, Diana.
I know, right?
All right.
Awesome. Congratulations, Tracy.
All right, Tracy. So at the end of the series, Diana will be in touch with you to make sure that you get tonight's prize. And like Diana said, guys, have an amazing evening. Stay hydrated, wake up hydrated, and we can't wait to see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.